Welcome. I didn't do the typical welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Sobriety Entertainment, or not Sobriety Entertainment. I got that in the background to confuse me. The SSS Pod, hashtag SSS Pod. We are doing the wrestling podcast, suplexing your ass right into the mat. Dude, I don't know. I'm Ryan. Over there, that way. God, the camera's backwards. Over there is my brother, my co-host.
On my screen, I'm this way.
I always try to come up with a nickname for you. I don't have one this week. That's Nathan.
Wow.
I try to come up with something, man, but it just didn't happen this time. We have another
two-pack.
Yes.
A double shot.
A double shot of whiskey. We don't drink. It's a double shot this week. We'll be doing the wrestling and sports because the weekend happened and life happens, and sometimes you can't find time to do a podcast. So we're going to do it today after wrestling. We'll just kind of very quickly skim through all the sports news and sports and scores and all that fun stuff. But we got wrestling to get to first, and we have a lot of wrestling to get to because there was another pay-per-view last week.
Yeah, but we're going to try to do things a little different. We're not going to go through every single match because, good Lord, too much.
Yeah. We will for the pay-per-view just because it's
yeah, pay-per-views you have to.
You kind of have to go through every match because we have to do our predictions and all that. So we'll start on Monday with, as my green screen shows, Monday Night Raw.
Nice.
We're going to start with Monday Night Raw. This week, last week was a pretty big week. They crowned the number one contender for the Universal Championship.
Yep.
A triple threat, three triple threat matches, or three singles matches. The winners all moved into the main event, which was a triple threat match.
It's for the WWE champion. Wait.
Yeah, WWE champion.
Yeah, WWE champion.
I get. Yeah. We also saw a team split up again because that is WWE. So let's get right into it. The opening match was Keith Lee and Dolph Ziggler. This was a pretty good match, honestly, back and forth, and Keith Lee won, which moves him into the main event triple threat match for later on.
Yeah. I did not like this match because Keith Lee is a big man. And I think he should be doing big man stuff. Because, for one thing, Dolph Ziggler is not big enough to allow Keith Lee to do his high-flying stuff because he will kill him. Like, if he did his fucking jumping off the top rope on top of him, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, I think for certain guys, he just needs to stick to what he does best. Like, just do big man stuff against little guys. Do high-flying stuff against big guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good match, but, yeah, Keith Lee was kind of – it was one of those matches where Keith Lee did, like, one move.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I have a problem with wrestling nowadays is everybody's got to get all their shit in. It should just tell a story, man, If we watch wrestling, we know what your moves are. You ain't got to remind us every goddamn match.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, make some of your moves special.
So the next match in the triple threat thing was
rant over.
The next match was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in that tournament. Aleister Black came out and basically destroyed Kevin Owens before this match even started.
Yeah.
He kicked him and then beat him up, so Orton pinned him right away. This wasn't really a match, but Orton moves on to the main event as well.
Right.
We had more other shit. The other big match was the Riot Squad and the Iconics. Winning team is a tag team title match. Losing team has to disband because that's WWE. They love to disband their teams. They love to just.
Yeah, it's another case of Vince McMahon found a new thing that he liked, and it's Peyton Royce.
Yeah, he has a new favorite toy.
Even though she's been there for 2 years on their main roster, but all of a sudden now.
I just don't get the whole point of it. I don't understand why you have to break up the Iconics. They're not really – they could do solo work while still being a team. I hate the mentality of WWE of if you're in a team, you're in a team.
There's rumors that they're going to do another draft soon, and maybe Billy Kay will go to SmackDown. But why not just wait to break? Why not just wait to break them up then? Why do you have to?
Yeah. But this match was back and forth, and in the end, it was the Riot Squad getting the win. So the Iconics are no more. Just like that. Yep. I don't understand where that stipulation came from. It was out of nowhere. It was just, you know.
Go get me another battery. Go get me another battery. Go get me another battery.
But yeah, I didn't get this match. It made no sense to me. But yeah, Iconics are no more. The next match was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins, which they announced that was going to happen, but then it was announced that Rey's injured. He tore his shoulder or something, and so it was Dominic versus Seth Rollins. Again, because Raw is filled with rematches every single week. It's the same storylines over and over and over, and we can never have anything original on Raw. So we had Dominic and Seth again. And yeah, it was a typical Dominic and Seth Rollins match. And Seth Rollins got the win. So Seth Rollins moves into the main event. Dominic, I got to give him a lot of credit, though, because he has, doesn't look like he has any fear. He looks like a vet.
Well, he does stuff, but he still has some nuances where you can tell he's green.
He's the only thing that he does that people don't, the only thing that he does is that he works the left side instead of the right.
And Lucha Libre style.
Yeah, he does the Lucha Libre style wrestling, and certain people in WWE I don't think are going to be able to work that, so he'll have to try to maybe work around that. But yeah. And then it was time for Raw Underground. Yay. Titus O'Neil beat up some no-namer, and then Riddick Moss beat Titus O'Neil for no reason. Really weird.
Yeah, but Titus got to do something.
So yeah, he finally was on the show. Retribution showed up and crashed the Street Profits and Angel Garza Andrade match. Retribution crashed to the tag team tornado match, so Angel Garza ran away, so they're progressing that storyline with Angel and Andrade, probably going to break up at some point.
Another tag team breaking up, even though they only have 3 tag teams on Raw for the men.
Yeah, because AOP are now no more. So.
And then they were also teasing Seth Rollins breaking up with the fucking Buddy Murphy. If they do that, I mean, what the hell, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, and then they went back to Raw Underground where they officially broke up, I guess, the Iconics, because Peyton Royce threw Billie Kay in to get her ass kicked.
Yeah, she threw her to the wolves.
Yeah, so that was that.
And it was pretty shitty. Billie Kay does not need to be in Raw Underground, that's for sure.
No. So we go to the main event.
That kind of made it look. Oh, sorry.
We go to the main event. Randy Orton. Huh? What?
I was just gonna say that it made Raw Underground look kind of phony, having Billie Kay and taking that stupid bump.
Yeah, she sold it over the top.
Yeah.
We'll go to the main event, the triple threat match. This was okay. Basically Orton just kind of didn't wrestle the whole match. He was kind of letting Rollins and Lee do most of the work, and then he did take a good pounce though.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was Randy Orton getting the win, and so rematch at Clash of Champions, Orton versus McIntyre. So we kind of saw that coming, but I was kind of hoping they'd pull the trigger on Lee and just but
it's okay. You get a fresh matchup from SmackDown. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So that was Raw. It's more of the same. A lot of rematches, a lot of the same feuds continuing for 7 months. It's hard to watch. Really is.
Yeah.
They just you've had the Hurt Business feuding with Apollo Crews for 4 months, 5 months now.
All right.
So yeah, hopefully this week's better, but we'll see. But that's Raw. We'll move on to the next show, which was Impact. Yeah.
And Impact, we'll just go over it shortly. Impact was it was okay, but the big thing was that they finally ended Wrestle House, and they had some people die. They had they had people get murdered by Su Yung. They had people freaking we had somebody propose to somebody, and it was all crazy. And then, but in the end, what happened was they had a match between Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, and Johnny Bravo was the referee, who is apparently the love interest for some reason. And Taya Valkyrie beat Rosemary. Rosemary was upset at Johnny Bravo, and then Bravo said, I don't care about Taya Valkyrie. She's just my man. I'm just her manager or whatever. And then he got on one knee and proposed to her, took a bite out of the poison apple or whatever the hell it was. And then Rosemary said yes. And then she said, okay, we can go back now. And they went back to the Impact Zone.
You texted me like that, and I think I had a stroke reading it. That is the most crazy thing.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise Impact was just an okay show this week. It wasn't that great.
You gotta talk about the big title change.
Yeah, Eric Young's new champion. I mean, we all kind of seen it coming, but kind of sucks for Eddie, honestly, because he just won it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and
he was probably never supposed to win it in the first place.
Well, no, but I don't know if Eric Young was either, so I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Moose and EC3 are gonna fight soon, and he was sending them all these weird messages with a knife and all kinds of shit. It was weird. I don't know if he's like some kind of serial killer now or what, but but yeah, that was Impact. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot anything really exciting happening.
So also on Tuesday we had NXT due to the NHL playoffs. NXT was moved to Tuesday, so it was Super Tuesday. Main evented by the 60-minute Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match for the NXT title. We also had a 6-person street fight between Isaiah Swerve Scott, Breezango, and Legado del Fantasma.
It was okay.
Match. It was all right. Swerve and Breezango won. Candice beat Casey Catanzaro, and Timothy Thatcher defeated Bronson Reed. That's the only matches because they had an hour for the main event. The Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match.
What did you think of this match?
It was what I was expecting it to be, but there were, everyone got their spots in. There was a bunch of cool moments.
I honestly thought it was a little slow though. Like I thought that they were a little off. I felt like they were kind of like taking their they were waiting on each other a lot and stuff.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of standing around, not really knowing what was going to happen. The ending was, I'm not going to say predictable, but
I didn't like it.
Yeah. So it ended in a 2-2 draw between Adam Cole and Finn Balor. And so both men, wasn't it Adam Cole was trying to get a pin at the end or something and it didn't, whatever. Yeah. So then William Regal came out and said next week they're wrestling one-on-one for the title. So
I think instead of doing that, they should have either had an overtime right then and there between those two, or been since Finn Balor pinned Adam Cole in that match.
Yeah.
But Adam Cole did not pin Finn Balor in that match. That I think Finn Balor should have been a crown champion.
Yeah.
Just because you advertised there was going to be a new title, a new champion, and then you did not follow through with it.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
That's kind of bullcrap.
So they're going to be on Tuesday again next week. So But
since you said that, do you think that WWE is going to put NXT on Tuesdays permanently?
I don't know. I've heard mixed reports. So I've heard that Vince McMahon doesn't want to, but I've also heard that everyone else in the company does because the ratings were outstanding for the show. They did like 800,000. So
yeah, they did. Well, I mean, it's kind of what they normally do.
It was higher though.
Both shows do.
Yeah, it was higher than what they do on Wednesday. I think we'll see
the
what
demos
they do
were better.
Yeah, the demos were a lot better.
And NXT was actually in the top like 20 in the 18 to 40 whatever demo.
Even though, let's be honest, they probably would have done that against Dynamite this week because Dynamite was absolute trash.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
But another thing I did want to mention about the Fatal 4-Way was Ciampa and Gargano were like, supposed to never touch each other again. Well, they had that huge blow off, and it was supposed to be it. Never again. And then they just go and have this Fatal 4-Way with both of them in it. And it's like it kind of didn't sit well with me.
Agree. Well, I didn't like that, and I also didn't like that I don't know. They got their stuff in, but it almost felt like
all about Cole and
you kind of knew that neither one of them were going to be at the end.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
that was NXT. Not much to talk about when you have an hour of one match. I mean,
yeah.
But we'll move on to this show. That was the go home show for AEW. It was right before
All Out.
All Out. This show was not good.
Yeah.
This show was not
good. It was not. It was very, very – none of the matches were very good. The Young Bucks and the Jurassic Express were okay, but I just don't know why you would keep having – if the Young Bucks are going to be in a serious feud, why would you have them against a comedy team? I mean, they're not really a comedy team, but you got Marco Stunt out there, and Luchasaurus does some stuff that's kind of like a cartoon character. And if you're going to have Young Bucks going all serious doing this Adam Page stuff and FTR stuff, you can't have them in there with a team like that. And I don't like the BTE trigger or whatever the fuck they call it. That's a stupid way to end a match. Those 2 knees to the head. I'm like, out of all those cool moves they do, that's what they win with.
Yeah. You had Jericho and Joey Janela in a mess of a match.
Yeah, it was a horrible match.
Oh, that was terrible. Man, my microphone's not working.
Whoa.
Sorry, my microphone's not working. I'll switch it to the audio from the webcam. It should be fine.
No problem.
We're good. Thunder Rosa made her debut. She beat Serena Deeb, who's, that match was. I mean,
all she's known for is shaving her head for CM Punk.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa. She's good, but this match was not the best way to show her all of her abilities.
No, honestly, they should have put her in there with somebody on the main roster that's actually signed.
Yeah.
Quick. Put her over.
Yeah.
Get her ready for that, that championship.
Moxley and the Lawyer wrestled, and that was what it was.
That should have ended short, too. I did not like that either because there was way too much comedy, which it's fine, I guess, but
he's the world champion.
It's like, yeah, well, and not only that, but it's a serious feud,
Yeah.
So it's like, you should have just had him, the Lawyer trying to get out of it or whatever, get out of the match, and then just out of nowhere he just drops him on his head and pins him instead of doing all a 5-minute match.
Yeah, so that was.
But afterwards, it was okay. With they busted him up with the ring, and MJF got on top of him and was out of the wheelchair and ripped off the neck brace and looked good. So the end of it was okay, but the actual Lawyer match was not good.
Yeah, so that was not the best way to head into your pay-per-view. But that's what we got. That was Dynamite. It was not the best show. They've had way better. I think because I didn't like any of the show, honestly. There was not much on that show that was enjoyable to me.
Yeah, the only thing I liked was the Thunder Rosa match.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, and that was about it.
They have too many 8-man tags for my liking on these shows. So we'll move on because there was still no NXT UK, even though it is coming back very, very soon. Should be, I don't remember the exact date, but it's this month sometime.
Yeah.
We'll have NXT UK back. So we'll move on to SmackDown. Basically, it started with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman announced, hey, we're better than Raw, so we're going to have a fatal 4-way to determine the number 1 contender. And then Big E got taken out by Sheamus, which was pretty brutal, actually. It was supposed to be Sheamus, Big E, Matt Riddle, and King Corbin. Sheamus took out Big E. Did like the Celtic Cross, or what's that move? The Irish Curse, or whatever it's called.
Irish Curse is the backbreaker.
Yeah, what's he call that? I don't know.
I think it's
white noise.
I think it's a Celtic Cross. Oh yeah.
White noise. He did that through the car window or door or hood or whatever. So
this is the windshield.
Yeah, so Big E might be out for a while. So then it was announced someone else would take his spot. And then we also saw Sasha Banks get taken out by Bayley.
Yep.
They lost a women's tag team rematch to Shayna and Nia. And then Bayley destroyed Sasha Banks forever. Like that. They lost. They went to commercial, and then they came back, and Bayley just completely just kicked her ass for like 10 minutes. It was insane.
Well, and, here's the thing. Had these new champions crowned, but now the only women's tag team, 2, is Natalya and fucking Lana and the Riot Squad.
Yep.
So you broke up 2 other tag teams. You broke 2 women's tag teams up in 1 week.
Yep. So then it was announced that Jey Uso would be taking Big E's place. And as soon as that happened,
don't forget about the high heels.
Oh, yeah, they had a high heels promo.
Yeah.
Woman walking in red high heels, so I don't know. A lot of rumors.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's Chelsea Green.
That's almost got to be. You know what? I will go opposite. I won't say Chelsea. I'll say it's Vanessa Bourne.
It's probably one of those 2. A lot of people are saying Eva Marie, but you never know.
Eva Marie. Oh, good God.
Also, Bray Wyatt said someone new's joining the Funhouse next week.
Yeah.
So we'll see who that is. Probably.
We got 2 mystery teasers.
So then it was announced Jey Uso was entering the Fatal 4-Way, and as soon as that happened, I knew who was winning. This was a basic run-of-the-mill WWE Fatal 4-Way. Everyone got their spots in. Bunch of false finishes at the end. Everyone hit their finishers. Yada, yada, yada. Matt Riddle hit the bro down, whatever the hell he calls that thing.
The floating bro?
The floating bro. And then Jey Uso came out of nowhere with a splash and pinned him.
Yeah.
Before that, he did get thrown like 10 feet over the barricade by Corbin.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
He went over some of the video boards. I was like, what the hell?
Pretty cool. So it's going to be Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my reaction to that.
That sounds like a winner.
This has just become.
Why would you? I don't know. Anyway, so then we had 205 Live. 205 Live had 3 matches on it.
Yep.
You had Daivari versus Tahuti Miles. And Tahuti is yet to win on 205 Live. And he got beat by Daivari with a hammerlock clothesline. And then you had what was the second match? Oh, Steve Corino's son was on the show.
Yeah, Colby.
Yeah, and Kobe Corino. And who did he fight?
I'm looking it up, but I don't remember for sure. Was it?
Like
it was the ad guy.
Oh, yeah, the guy from Mansoor.
Yeah, it was Mansoor.
Yeah, it was Mansoor. And Mansoor pulled out some crazy offense in this match. He did some stuff I've never seen before, which
He
is
did
hard
the
to say
neck
for wrestling.
breaker like on the top rope, which was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kobe was taking some bump.
And the main event
Kobe was taking some bump.
He
was dressed up just like his dad, too.
Yeah. Maybe they'll sign him.
Maybe. They never signed Steen Carino, so, you know.
He's a trainer. They signed him, 20 years too late.
Yeah.
But the main event was Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Everrise, but it was a no contest when Legado del Fantasma came in and beat them both up.
Yeah.
So it was a beatdown, and then it was Escobar and Legado del Fantasma standing at the end of the show. So
almost all the tag teams in NXT are cruiserweight tag teams.
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't realize that.
It's crazy. Yeah,
we'll move. Before we go to the pay-per-view, we got real quick. We'll run through New Japan Strong. I like this show. We saw the debut on this show of Fred Roser, otherwise known as what was his name? Darren Young.
Yeah.
Fred Roser and Alex Zane took on Clark Connors and the DKC. It's the weirdest name for a wrestler I've ever heard of.
It's good that he finally found a landing spot,
He hasn't wrestled in a long time. But
yeah,
he looked pretty good in this match. He got the win. So
yeah.
Fred Roser and Alex Zane got the win. The next match was Mysterioso versus Carl Fredericks. I liked Fredericks.
Yeah, that was a pretty good match.
This match was pretty good. But in the end, Carl Fredericks got the win.
Yeah. Red Roser sounds too much like Red Rooster for me, just saying.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say. In the third match.
I was going to say, what was the main event? I forgot.
The main event was Jay White and Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
There were 4 matches. We also had Brody King and Hikuleo. And Hikuleo got the win, which surprised me. Actually.
Yeah, and he beat him pretty. Yeah, I was like, I mean, I know, Brody King is from ROH, and
I think they're
they seem to be jobbing him out.
Yeah, he's kind of just using him as filler, like he's just there to put people over. But the main event was Jay White, Flip Gordon. This was a pretty good match. Obviously, Jay White won though because he's the New Japan guy and Flip Gordon's the ROH guy.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty good match. I like this match. And next week on the show, next week will be Rocky Romero versus Danny Limelight, the Gorillas of Destiny versus David Finlay and PJ Black, and Kenta versus Jeff Cobb for the IWGP US Heavyweight Right to Challenge contract.
Oh, wow.
A rematch, I guess, because, why not?
Yeah. New Japan had also going on as a struggle, summer struggle, and there was only 2 shows that you really needed to watch on to this, and one of them was it had 4 matches for the King of Pro Wrestling, and it was like they usually have a big tournament for King of Pro Wrestling, but since the COVID thing, they just kind of got it out there real quick. But they decided to do it a little different, and they had 4 specialty matches. One match, you could not use your finisher.
That's so dumb.
If you used your finisher, you got disqualified. Another 2-count match. So if you got 2 count on a guy, you won. One match was a submission match, which was basic. But then the other match was a 3-on-1 handicap match. 3 guys versus Okada. But Okada ended up winning anyway. But so you had Yano, Okada, El Desperado, which is kind of crazy because he's usually a tag team guy, and Sonata, who won the submission match, which just makes sense because his finisher is a submission. But yeah, those 4 going for the King of Pro Wrestling at the actual Summer Struggle show, which was held in a stadium that had Ric Flair versus Antonio Inoki way back in 1989, and it was the last time they've been there. So they decided to do something special, even though they had limited fans. They did something special, had it in an arena that they haven't been at in a long time, as a baseball field, and they even had the rings set up the exact same way that it was in 1989. It was pretty cool. And at Summer Struggle, Yano won the Fatal 4-Way to be the king of pro wrestling. So, yeah. Naito kept his belts. I don't think there were any title changes on this show. They did have a tag team title match. They had a really brutal match for the Never Openweight Championship between Old Man Suzuki and Minoru Suzuki, he's got to be almost 60 now, but he just keeps going, and he never gets any slower. He's still the same. He wrestled Ken Shamrock, Ryan, in 93. That's how old this guy is. But he fought the guy from Dragon Gate. That's the champion. I can't remember his name right now for some reason, but he kept his title. Pretty sure there weren't any title changes on this show, but it was a good pay-per-view for, New Japan. Pretty random for it to be outside. They finally did a live announcers for English. They were both, one was in Europe, one was in the United States, but somehow they made it work, and the timing was still pretty good. Acted like they were there, so I was like, that was impressive. But it was a good show overall. Had like 6 title matches on it, so it made it big.
So we go from a good pay-per-view to a bad pay-per-view. All Out.
That wasn't bad.
I hated this pay-per-view. There was a couple matches that were good, but this was not good for me.
Well, the pre-show matches were good.
It was good for me in one way, and we'll get to that. But
yeah,
the pre-show matches sucked. The buy-in matches were not good. Joey Janela and Serpentico.
Yeah, was not a good at all.
Terrible. Private Party versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds was the basic tag team matches they do every single.
John Reynolds and John Silver's and Reynolds, whatever the fuck their names are. Alex Reynolds and John Silver, they're actually a good tag team. They're both really short though, so they wouldn't make it anywhere else probably. But they're a good
tag team, but they were wrestling Private Parties, so.
Yeah. Who won that match? Because that counted towards our thing.
No, we didn't count that. No, that match.
Okay.
Because the original, because Britt Baker and Big Swole was originally announced for the buy-in, and it was the main card. Amid, I guess people were like saying it doesn't deserve to be on the buy-in; it should be on the main card. So they moved it and added that match. So the only matches that counted towards us are all 9 matches on the actual pay-per-view. So
all right, and we start with Britt Baker's Tooth and Nails match, which apparently was a match that's like kind of cinematic match, which I was not expecting.
It took place in her dental office.
Yeah, but Britt Baker, I guess, probably isn't 100% yet, so they had to do something different. But it started out, Big Swole showed up at the office, and Rebel was behind a mask, and she was in the at the counter for some reason, and she acted like she didn't know her for some reason, and Swole's here or whatever, and then she hit her, and I don't fucking know. But anyway,
at one point, Baker hit her with a diploma.
Yeah, and there was blood everywhere in one of the office chairs, which I was like, is she like fucking Bray Wyatt now? What's going on here? And then but then there was comedy where you open up the thing and you got the little chattering teeth, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in this match?
All over the place.
Yeah,
there was no pain.
It ended with I'll give it this. I've never seen this ending in a pro wrestling match.
Whether good for bad or not, who knows? But it was unique.
So Britt Baker tried to drill her in the mouth with an actual drill, because everybody knows that really happens in the dentist's office. But
she's a dentist.
She missed. And then Big Swole got a needle that had Novocaine in it and stuck it in her leg. And it was sticking in her leg, which I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
And then her leg went numb, so her leg was numb, but then Big Swole knocked her onto the dentist chair and put the fucking mask on her and put her to sleep, and that's how she won the match.
Yeah. And so You picked Britt Baker for 5. I picked Big Swole for 4, so I got 4 points for that win.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
That was just not – it was something. I mean, for a cinematic match, it's hard to judge because it's not a real match. But
yeah, upset city here. I can feel it coming.
So the next match was the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. This was up to par with an AEW pay-per-view match. This was the typical fast-paced AEW style match that really got the feel of it being an actual pay-per-view again.
Right. But like I said, they shouldn't be wrestling those guys.
No, because it was bad, and they did that, like you said, the BTE trigger, and it was
shitty.
Not a good ending. But the Young Bucks got the win, so they're the number 1 contenders. You got 7 points for that one. I got
now I'm in the lead.
I picked Jurassic Express, and so you're up 7-4 at this point. The next match was the Casino Battle Royale. This was
not a bad battle royal. They didn't have a lot of comedy in it, so that was good.
Yeah, but neither one of us got the surprise entrant.
Nope.
It was Matt Sydal who completely
came out of nowhere.
And he completely messed up his finisher. He went for the shoot.
Yeah, right off the bat.
I don't know if it was he wasn't used to the big style ropes that they have, or what.
I think he slipped.
He slipped and about broke his neck. It was one of many scariest moments in this paper.
Well, I think he corrected himself. He jumped off, but then he felt that so he just took a back bump and.
So
it was weird.
It was one of the many scary moments of this pay-per-view. In the end,
it kind of sucked if he was one of the last 3.
Yeah. In the end, it was Archer who got the win, which completely threw me off. But hey, I'm into it. So Lance Archer, which means we get more Jake the Snake. Yeah.
So it's yet another big man.
Yeah.
I can't say that yet. We'll wait till the end.
Yeah. So you picked Pentagon, I picked Spears, so no points awarded on that one. I should have went with Archer. Right. I kind of figured they were going to, but I didn't know. And so the next match was the Broken Rules match. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara.
If you want to call it a match.
Man, was this stupid. This
match reminded me of the Hell in a Cell match between Mick Foley and Undertaker to where it wasn't really a match because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
They get to the back and they immediately go on the scissors lift and they jump on Sammy Guevara spears Matt Hardy off and they missed the tables that they had laying out. And Matt Hardy's head just bounces off the you can hear it thud off the concrete. And he's laying there.
He's out. He's completely out. He's not moving.
He tries to get up, but he falls. He almost pulls Sammy Guevara's pants down. The referee tries to stop it. She puts up the X. She tried to stop it twice.
Yeah.
She puts up the X, so we think it's over. Then there's some talking, and then all of a sudden, it's not over.
Now Hardy
and they're fighting
the door. Yeah.
They're fighting again.
And they go back up the scaffolding.
Well, no. Then they go they go back to the arena, out to the arena, and they actually go up a scaffold this time. So he actually has to climb after he just had a concussion, which he could have slipped and fell. So that was stupid. And then he wins with a punch.
I mean, I get the storyline was Matt Hardy was going to win, but make some fucking adjustments. You put his life at risk to make him climb that stupid scaffolding.
Yeah.
This right here is the worst thing AEW's ever done. This is by far where they have proven that they are not on the same level as WWE because WWE would not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
They would have called it. It would have been over. They would have been match over. And Aubrey Edwards got a lot of slack. She got a lot of hate on the internet for this, but she put up the X. She knew they should have stopped the match. It was
it wasn't her fault.
The doctor
it wasn't her fault.
Matt Hardy.
That doctor.
That's terrible. And I know Matt Hardy's probably oh, I'm good, I'm fine. But everyone, you could see it on TV. You could see it. He was not near. So technically, Matt Hardy won this. So I did get 6 points, even though this was terrible all around.
Hopefully,
I'm up 10-7 right now.
Yeah.
The next match was probably the best match on the card. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship.
It went a long match. It was long.
This match freaking rocked. I love this match. This was my favorite AEW match in a long time. Actually, it's my favorite match in a long time. This was great. It was back and forth. Really didn't know who was going to win. I want to see them go again. I really do. But in the end, it was Hikaru Shida who got the win, which was kind of expected just because she's, actually with the company.
Yeah.
She's actually under contract. So we both got points there. I got 9 and you got 4. So I'm up 19-11 at this point.
Damn.
Yeah. The next match was the 8-man tag team match. The worst part of this match was JR's commentary. I don't know if you heard it when Anna Jay and Brandy Rhodes got into it. And they were fighting, and Anna Jay, was adjusting her top. And JR was like, was that a wardrobe malfunction or just wishful thinking on my part? And it was just – he apologized and said it was a poor attempt at a joke. But it's like, what? You used to hate on JR. Like, he used to hate on King for all the stuff he says, and now he's basically become Jerry Lawler. Like, he's just
– he channeled his inner Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. This match was – all right, but it was not. It wasn't great. But in the end, the Team Rhodes, I'll call them, got the win. But you weren't very confident in that. You only got 1 point. I picked Dark Order for 5. You picked Team Rhodes for 1. So I'm still up at this point. The next match was the second championship match, the AEW Tag Team Championship, Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus FTR. I think everyone on Earth knew where this match was going.
Right.
I mean, this match.
It had a roundabout way of getting there. It was a long match. I like that they didn't do the typical, Adam Page turning on Kenny Omega and joining them the way that because they did something. They did it a little different.
Omega
I like it.
left. Yeah, it was different. Omega just walked away and then told the Young Bucks, "I'm done," and left.
Yeah,
and then they all three left. So FTR gets the win. So they are the new tag team champions. We both picked FTR for good reason. I had him for 8 and you had him for 9, so you did gain 1 point there on me. So quick math here, 10, 19, 27 for me, and then 7, 9, and 1, and 4. So that's 21?
Yeah.
Something like that. So the next match, the Mimosa Mayhem match, Jericho and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jericho needs to go away for a while.
I do understand now, though, why they made it pinfall and submission count. Because if they would have just made it with the Mimosa,
it wouldn't have
been much of a match. Because it wouldn't have made sense for him to be in the ring doing moves and stuff. So I get why they did it now.
And it wasn't much of a match anyway. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
It was probably their best match out of the 3, which is sad.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It would have been like Rollins and Rey Mysterio in the Eye for the Eye match where you're doing basic moves. So it did make a little bit more sense to have the pinfall submission option.
Yeah.
But in the end, Orange Cassidy gets the win.
Yep.
We both picked him. I had him for 7 and you had him for 6. So I'm still winning.
All right.
Really, even if MJF wins, I don't think you could catch me in this one. So
I don't think so.
So we'll move on before I celebrate. AEW Championship, Jon Moxley and MJF. This was good. MJF can go. He's proved it again. MJF is clearly ready to be the main event, ready to be the top guy.
Yep.
But this was obviously the paradigm shift has been banned, so Moxley couldn't hit that. But he still hit it behind the referee's back.
Yeah.
So Moxley wins, which I picked, was not very confident in, didn't think it was going to happen, but Jon Moxley beat MJF, so that's another 2 points, which means I have 36 and you have 27.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, I have won a pay-per-view prediction, and it has to be an AEW one. Like, it's so ridiculous that the show I don't like as much is the show I can get right.
Yep.
Maybe I'm just on par with AEW's booking. I don't know.
Apparently.
God dang. But yeah, so so the matches I liked on this show was Moxley and MJF and the women's title match. Everything else I really didn't care about. The tag team title match was good. I'm just not a big fan of FTR. So but everything else I really had no feelings for. So, everything else was just basic. I mean, they had 2 good matches, which saved the pay-per-view. Because if they would have had those 2 matches, this would have been terrible. But, yeah, overall it was decent. It wasn't their best show. It's probably, honestly, one of the worst pay-per-views they've ever put on.
Yeah, agreed.
But, yeah. So the punishment, I guess you can do it next week, would be, Jake Roberts? You have to cut a Jake Roberts style promo.
Yeah.
So we'll hold that off to next week since we don't have a pay-per-view to do next week. We'll have some time to kill. So yeah, that was the week in wrestling. We do have some news regarding WWE saying, hey, you guys can't be on Twitch anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Well, apparently something came out today. He did backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
They're now saying you can do it, but you have to use your real name and you can't mention WWE at all.
Yeah, I think what happened was he was really frustrated, really angry. And so he said something really stupid where he said that we own your real names. And then he was bro.
It was one of those tongue moments where he's like, I
guess after a few days, he finally was like, okay. Or maybe somebody actually talked some sense into him. I don't know.
The rumors were that Lana pushed him over the edge because she was promoting Bang Energy on her Instagram. And it kind of pushed him over the edge of saying, fuck it off.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Also, AOP was released. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. They never really got a fair shake on the main roster.
Yeah, that's basically the main news of wrestling this week. So,
all right. I guess we'll go into some sports here for a little bit. Just not real long. We're just going to do a little quick thing of sports. And then next week, hopefully, we'll have a full-on sports episode.
Yeah, we'll get into what's happening in the playoffs. Do they have a playoff? Well, quick though, some news. I don't know if you heard, but Steve Nash is the new head coach for the Brooklyn Nets.
That's crazy.
Before I get into the scores, yeah. For some reason, I don't know how kind of out of nowhere hire, but yeah. So
that's awesome though. One of my favorites.
Yeah, I figured you'd enjoy that.
Djokovic in the U.S. Open. We probably won't do a lot of scores on this episode. Just try to run down some news and stuff here, But Djokovic in the U.S. Open today got disqualified.
He hit somebody,
and I don't know if I really fully. I don't really fully know if I agree with the disqualification, but basically he got frustrated, hit a ball, and it hit a line judge in the throat. And she was from Owensboro of all places.
Yeah, right.
But hit her in the throat. Yeah. And but as soon as he hit it and he saw it was going towards her, he freaked out. And then after it hit her, he ran over and helped her, making sure she was okay.
Yeah.
It's not like he didn't really show compassion or nothing.
He didn't mean to do it. That's the thing. I don't think
it was a complete accident. He got frustrated. He shouldn't have done it, but he's done way worse stuff than that. He's thrown his racket at those people before by accident, So, this was kind of crazy. They disqualified your number one tennis player gets disqualified, and then they fine him $10,000.
Yeah.
It was an accident. I don't know. I don't agree. Sometimes I agree with the rulings, but this one I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't agree with this either. Real quick, we'll go into the NBA playoffs. We are currently into the conference semifinals.
Right.
It is Boston and Toronto. Boston is up 3-2 in that series. They're the 3 seed. And in the other series, it's the 1 seed Milwaukee versus the 5 seed Miami, and Miami is up 3-1. Miami won the first 3 games, and Milwaukee survived the last game without Giannis and made it 3-1. So I don't know. And then the West.
Well, if they didn't have Giannis, then maybe that's why.
No, he played the first 3 games. He didn't play the 4th game, and they won. He got injured.
Why didn't he play the 4th game?
He got injured. He got injured halfway through it and decided he didn't come back. So I don't know if he's going to play the next game or not. And then in the West, it is the 1 seed LA and the 4 seed Houston. And then Denver, the 3 seed Denver and the 2 seed LA Clippers. They're both 1-1.
Yeah.
They're both 1-1 right now. Denver and LA are currently playing.
How come the West Coast has played less games?
Because all of their series in the first round went like really late. 2 series went to 7 games.
Oh yeah, because the Pacers suck. That's why.
Yeah. Well, the Pacers got swept. The Milwaukee series only went 5 games. Philadelphia got swept, and Brooklyn got swept in the East.
Yeah, there you go.
And the West had like all 4 conference, all games. 2 games went to Game 7. 1 game went to Game 6. So it was, yeah. So
come on, East Coast. What the hell?
The Eastern Conference is terrible.
God.
So that's where we're currently standing in the NBA.
NFL news. They're going to pump in crowd noise during the games. Every stadium has their own crowd noise, but it has to be at a certain level. I think it was like 7 on the 7. Whatever the fuck their is. And they said that's like the sound of like a vacuum cleaner or something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, so basically the players have been practicing with it the last 2 practices, and all the players said that they immediately got used to it. Like it was just background noise. So what's the point of having it? I guess the only thing I can think of the point of having the crowd noise is so we don't hear all the cuss words.
Yeah, that's
going to be flying on the field.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Well, the NBA, like the very first game, like there was like cussing everywhere. So I think, that's just what it is.
And real quick, since I mentioned NFL, we're going to have our NFL predictions tomorrow. We're going to put that out.
It could be a long video.
For the season. We're going to try to pick all the division winners. We'll see if we get even close to being right.
The division winners and maybe do who we think's going to win Super Bowl and playoffs and all that.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then at the end of the season, if it goes a full season, we'll compare and see who did better. So that's coming up.
Right.
We'll quickly go into the NHL playoffs because that's currently happening as well. And the West is down to the finals, the Western Conference Finals. It is the Golden Knights, or the 1 seed, and the 3 seed Dallas Stars. The expansion team is going to do it again. They're going to make it again.
They are dominant compared. I mean, I don't know of any sport that's had an expansion team come in.
Well, because they didn't do what normal expansion teams did. They were very aggressive in like trading, and they drafted everybody they could, and they just made a bunch of trades and got players that fit, and it worked. And in the East, we have the Lightning have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Islanders and the Flyers are still 1 game to go. So, and the Islanders are the 6th seed. So,
I'm gonna root for. They're New York though. I'm gonna root for the Flyers on that side because we cannot have the Lightning win. They knocked out my Blue Jackets. So, yeah.
And I can't root for a New York team, so yeah, it's gotta be Philly.
Yeah. I can't do that.
My team never made it. I'm a Wild fan, and they never made it. So, Dustin Johnson won a golf tournament today.
Yep.
I don't know about anything happened in NASCAR.
NASCAR's been really quiet lately.
Like they're doing races, but no one's just like talking about them. So it's kind of hard.
It should be into the playoffs already, I think.
I think if we're not, they're very close.
Yeah, because it ends in November.
Man, they don't even – CBS doesn't even cover it.
Joke. Baseball we're way behind, so we apologize. But
Yeah.
if you want to just go through the standings in baseball right now.
Okay, let's do that. Let's go to MLB. Yeah, let's do that.
There has been thousands of scores since we've done our last sports podcast.
There's been a lot. So in the standing, we'll go in the
Well,
American.
I know that just real quick. I know that there's been a bunch because the Reds alone, because they had some games postponed, they've done 4 doubleheaders in a row. One day they did a triple header with the Pirates. So
There's a lot making up to do. So in the American League, currently in the American League East, we have Tampa Bay sitting at 28-13. Toronto is 22-18. The Yankees are 21-19. Baltimore is 19-21, and Boston is 14-28. That's unusual for Boston to be that far down on the totem pole. But in the Central, we got the White Sox at 26-15, Cleveland at 25-15, Minnesota at 26-17. Jesus, those are all. Detroit at 18-21, and Kansas City is 14-27. That's rough. Out west, Oakland's still leading at 23-14. Houston, boo, Houston, 21-19. Seattle's 18-22. Angels are 17-25, and Texas is 13-26. You know, I bet Houston's happy that there's no fans this year because they would be getting booed off every stadium they played at.
Absolutely. It'll probably happen again next year too.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't get to this year. We'll go over to the National League. It is Atlanta leading the way at 24-17, Philadelphia at 20-17, Miami at 18-18, the Mets at 19-23, and Washington at 14-25. It looks a little better in the Central now that St. Louis made up most of their games. Central, right. Chicago is 23-18. Man, this division sucks. Sorry. St. Louis is 17-15. Milwaukee is 18-21. Cincinnati is 18-23, and Pittsburgh is 13-26.
Yeah,
there's like 2 teams above 500, and even Chicago's not even. They're 56, so they're barely above 500.
Yeah.
And in the West, you got the Dodgers at 30-12. Whew. San Diego at 25-17. Colorado is 20-20. San Francisco is 20-21, and Arizona at 15-26.
Yeah. So basically, we're over 40 games in.
It's about halfway through.
Some team.
Yeah.
And there's only 60 games. I think it's 60 games.
Something like that, yeah. So we're pretty close to the playoffs. I mean, they said the playoffs were starting in the normal time, so we'll start in October. So we got a month to go, essentially.
Yeah, so, yeah.
We got a month of season to go.
Should be interesting. Got anything else?
We got some Lionel Messi news. He was apparently going to leave. He wanted to leave Barcelona. This has been back and forth for a while here, but he said for now he is staying put. But they said that this last contract.
Hey, Pineapple. You know what would be
Yeah, his contract's up after this season, so he's definitely leaving after this season. They said that he'll probably be going to Manchester City. They said they're the favorite to sign him.
Yeah, I thought they were. I saw that they were going to sign him, which is crazy.
So this will be the final season that Leo Messi plays for Barcelona. We don't talk a lot of international soccer, but it's Lionel Messi. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
gotta mention it. We have a lot to do, but we can't, obviously go through 2 weeks of sports, so we kind of just have to.
Yeah. And like I said, next week will be a normal episode.
We got the NFL preview tomorrow. The day after that, we've got the video game podcast, and then we got our sports podcast on Friday/Saturday. So we got a lot coming this week for you guys. It'll all be on YouTube as well as all the podcast sites. So check them out. That's about all I've got. I kind of had to rush through this one, but thank you all for joining us and liking this and subscribing and listening and watching and all that fun stuff. As always, follow me on social media at SabraiENT across all platforms. Nathan's not really a social media guy, so can't. But I post, content all the
I
time.
got Facebook.
I post content about when we're posting videos or anything like that. So follow us if you want updates on when stuff's going to happen. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, score if you can, save if you must, but suplex when necessary.
Later.